guys, I want to go over what I have experienced in collecting, specifically with a certain character. That's Savage Dragon. Savage Dragon is a book that I purchase every month. Every new issue, I have a complete run. It's my favorite book that comes out usually on the week that it comes out. It's the first thing I read. So I had a local store that I had a pull list with. The local store is a chain. They have 4 stores in the area, and that chain um, wasn't very customer friendly. They concentrate on things like records, DVDs, CDs, video games, toys, just a hodgepodge of any type of media. And then they do have comic books, but the comic books that they have aren't really what they specialize in. They have a small wall of stuff that comes out each week. And on that wall, they might have 1 or 2 copies of most books. Many books they don't order, period. And then something like, say, Spider-Man or Batman, they'll have 5 or 10 copies. And then they do have whole boxes. So in the whole boxes, I asked them to hold Savage Dragon, thinking that it would be no issue because I'm a paying customer. I want this book. Can we put it in my whole box? Just order it from me. Previews has it every month. Well, I wasn't able to get them to do it so simply. They every month they would have some issue with me receiving Savage Dragon. There may have been, and I had a whole box there. We moved to where we live now 4 years ago, maybe, and I had a whole box with them for about 2 years. And in that 2 years, I might have gotten maybe 3 or 4 Savage Dragons that I didn't have to go track down from another store or order online or have some excuse as to why I didn't have it in my holds box this week. So I got very frustrated with that and other things. The condition of the comics that they would give you. There was a lot of damage on the books that they would give you. And if you would say, ask for, I would like this specific cover. And I'm not talking about a 1 in 100 variant. I'm talking about covers A and B when a 1 in 50 variant, a 50-50 variant like DC does each month with a lot of their characters. But let's say Harley Quinn. Every month there's going to be a Frank Cho copy, and then there was an Amanda Connors. Whoever's doing the book now, they have their copy. But there's always going to be 2 copies, and they are there's the same amount of both. There's no reason that you wouldn't allow a customer to say, "Hey, can I have a copy of this one?" But they made that difficult. I would mark down, I want this cover, would never get that cover. So I had met some friends online, and those friends owned a comic book store. Well, they worked at a comic book store. I eventually met and talked to the owner and stuff. But I met a couple of friends that did. They worked at a comic book store, and that comic book store is in Pennsylvania. I live in Kentucky. So I eventually talked to him, and I said, "Hey, why don't I start a holds box with you guys, and you can ship to me every 2 weeks or so." And that's been about what we've been doing for over a year now. Every 2 weeks, they ship me my books. Well, in July, hold on, I wrote down the dates. July 11th, to be exact, Savage Dragon 235 comes out. Savage Dragon 235 is the Buffalo Stew cover here. Well, I didn't get it. They send me a note every week through Facebook Messenger, and they say, "Hey, you have da-da-da-da-da-da. Give me an itemized list of what I've got." Savage Dragon wasn't on that list, so I didn't like that. I said, where's Savage Dragon? I want that. And they said, Diamond, they damaged the book, so we're reordering it. Don't worry, we'll have you a copy pretty soon, and when you get the copy, you'll be up to date. So in 2 weeks, on July 25th, Savage Dragon 226 comes out, or 236, I'm sorry, 236 comes out. When 236 comes out, I get my copy of 236. So I message them and I say, "What's going on with 235? Because I don't want to read 236 until I read 235. I know some people don't mind reading out of order. If it's at all possible, I like to avoid that just because that's the way I am." Well, they say Diamond still hasn't replaced the damaged one. We're holding out. go ahead and give us a minute. I say okay. Well, then on August 8th, 237 comes out. Now 237, I'm now 3 issues behind. I've not read 235, 236, or 237. So that was a little frustrating. So I message the shop and I say, hey, I'm going to just find this somewhere else. And they do let me know, no, we've actually got your copy in. We're going to send it to you. Sorry that it took so long. Which, hey, I get it. They are at Diamond's mercy, like so many shops are. It is not their fault that the book was damaged. They did get me the book that I was looking for. But it was frustrating as a collector, especially a collector of Savage Dragon. Most shops have Savage Dragon in people's holds specifically. I know that I've spoke with them, and I think they said there was 4 people that they hold Savage Dragon for. I know when I had the other store, they said that there was 2 other people that they held Savage Dragon for. So it's just so frustrating for one specific character to always be difficult to find, always be difficult to collect, and it's not so much that it's something that I'm going to go crazy about. It's just a mild inconvenience. I do have them all now, so I'm happy about that. But I wanted to share that story with you guys, the difficulty that I do have collecting sometimes certain characters, especially Savage Dragon, for whatever reason. It's like the comic gods know that that's the book I'm looking forward to, and they make it a point not to give me that book sometimes. Now, I was just wondering if you guys had any stories like that where you have a book that you look forward to, and for whatever reason, there always seems to be some delay, or there seems to be something that causes you not to be able to pick up a book that you're looking forward to. And I do want to say this, with collecting Savage Dragon, it's not all been bad luck. I have a complete run. I'm very happy with my complete run. I've met some wonderful people who are also Savage Dragon fans that I've made friends with online, and some of the creators even. I've become Facebook friends with Eric Larson, Frank Fosco, and that's so cool, because through social media I'm able to speak with people that I wouldn't have been able to speak with otherwise. And it's I don't want it to sound like I'm just sitting here bitching, because that's not what I'm doing. I just wanted to share a little anecdote with you guys about how difficult it is sometimes, or not difficult, frustrating, how frustrating it is sometimes to collect specific characters. And I wanted to know if you guys have any stories about characters and collecting them, and times when you collected them and it was difficult. All right, guys, have a good night, and thanks for watching.